Okay, so this is one of the problems from the worksheet that I have given today. And so I'll walk you through the steps for this one, and I'd like you to watch this one all throughout, and then maybe you can replay it and pause for every step that I have mentioned in here, and you can work along with me. Okay? All right. So Parker had saved $170, but his sister Patty had only saved $40. After they both earned the same amount of money running errands one weekend, Parker noticed he had three times as much money as Patty. How much money does Parker have? Okay, so if you notice in this equation, you have two situations, right? The before and after. The before is, well, Parker and Patty had their respective amount of money. And the after is the money that they have after the earned sum over the weekend. Okay? Alright, so we will try to divide our solution into two parts, the before and after. And in each situation, we will try to draw their respective models. Alright, in the before and after type of situation where something happened, and so there will be another situation, the new situation, just like this one. We could try to work backwards if you want, but you can also work forward. I just think that at least for this one we could try going backwards. And the reason for that is because it is mentioned here that after they earned some money, Parker had three times as much as Patty. So basically from that you can um estimate your boxes. Okay? At the start you may be able to estimate your boxes, but at least at the after part you already know that Parker definitely had three times as much. So I would work with that if I were you. Alright, so in both situations, let's put in Parker's and Patty's names to so that's where we'll put their respective models. Alright, so we will be starting with the after. Alright. Okay, so I have this grid just as a guide for your boxes. So they have the same lengths and stuff like that. Alright. Okay, so let's read. In the after situation, it says Parker noticed that he had three times as much money as Patty. So with that, we can draw our model, right? Okay, so I have three boxes here for Parker and two and one box for Patty. So as you can see, Parker's boxes are three times as many as Patty, and that is the generic. That is the after situation, right? All right. So what are these red boxes? Okay. Remember that this is the money. This one that you're looking at right now. These are the respective amount of money that these kids have these kids have now after they earned some money over the weekend. So therefore this one, the pink ones or the red ones, represent the amount of money that they earned over the weekend, right? And the red boxes should be the same because it is mentioned that they earned the same amount of money. Okay? All right, so let's put labels on this one. All right, so from that, if you notice that long arrow over there, that represents Parker's new amount of money. And do you agree with that? Okay, so since we have already stated it that way in the beginning anyway. And this one would be Patty's new amount of money. Okay. All right, let's get rid of that. Remember, the red ones are the earnings. Now, I made the arrow shorter and I did not include the earnings. And so without the earnings, that would be Parker's original amount of money, the model above. And without the earnings, the arrow under Patty would be Patty's original amount of money. Okay? Make sure you understand this part. Alright? Okay. So now I highlighted the original amount of money. Okay? I highlighted that one. See, I don't have any I don't have any smaller boxes anymore. Just highlighted the whole thing. And that whole thing, the longer one for Parker and the shorter one for Patty represents the amount of money that they originally have, right? Those two ones. All right. So we will copy those and put that in our before model. All right, so I just moved it up in the before model. And so if you notice, I don't have any smaller what's that, box lines along the way, because in the before model it was just mentioned that Parker is 170 and Perry at 140. It does not say anything about twice or whatever much as the other. So you just draw a straight box for the before model, right? And let's label this one. So Parker's original amount of money and Patty's original amount of money. Okay. And all right, let's see. Let's get rid of that so it's not very confusing. Okay, so we have this model now. All right, so let's plug in our values. So we know that originally Parker has 170 and Patty has $40. Okay, and let's put that in the after model as well. Okay. Now look at these two boxes that was wiggling. Let's let it wiggle again, okay? That area there, okay. And that represents two boxes, right? And how do we solve these two boxes? Exactly, that's just the difference between 170 and 40, okay? All right, so okay, so all right, let's get this one, get rid of that. All right. Okay, so look at this one. This is the complete model for this problem. So in your problems, in your worksheets, it should look like this when you solve it, all right? Everything is just everything is labeled and with the right length of arrows and right number of boxes. Okay, so from here we can start our solution. Alright, so the two boxes is equal to 170 minus 40. So therefore that is 130. And so one box is equal to 65. That is 130 minus 6 divided by 2. Okay, so what does 165 represent? That is 165, the wiggling box. That is 165. That is 165 too, including the earnings. And also per Patty, that's also 165. Okay. Now, so if you want to find out the amount of earnings, the earnings will just be 165 minus 40. Can you see that? Remember in Patty's model, the box is like 65 because that was one box originally. And since Patty's original money is 40, therefore the earnings, the red box is just 65 minus 40. All right. So let's go back to what is actually being asked. The question is how much money does Parker have now? Okay, so let's look at Parker's model. Parker's model, in order for you to find out the amount of money that he has now, you have to look at the after model, which is 170 plus the earnings, right? Okay, so therefore Parker's money would just be 195, which is 170 plus 25. Okay, so I suggest you replay this video and um work out the same problem. I think this is number 3 or 4. And then try to do this one. If you need to pause it, that would be